Hello and good afternoon. It's a breaking news update for you. According to our friends over at 13 ABC, reporting about an hour ago, a little less than an hour ago, about an hour ago, TPD launches an investigation into the boxing gym following abuse allegations. Toledo Police officers said Thursday that officers have launched the investigation into Soul City Boxing over allegations of child abuse. Now, due to the nature of allegations, they're really not giving much more information than that, other than that they have launched an investigation. We do know a couple other things, is that the gym has been temporarily closed, and we got that information, that statement from the gym itself, that it has been closed, so temporarily, while this investigation kind of goes on. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Again, the breaking news. I want to go to Queen Isis. Queen Isis has been really a victim's advocate that has been following this story from the beginning, and she's on with us right now. Queen Isis, are you there? Oh, she's not there. Hold on. Let me try her again. Calling Queen Isis again. So the breaking news is that the police have launched an investigation. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Queen Isis, are you there?
4, 8, 2.
She's not there. Hold on. Live radio, you guys. Live television, live media. Give me 2 seconds. And, okay, so Queen Isis is going to be on with us momentarily. She's been a victim's advocate and been following the story and breaking a lot of the news on this story as well. She's talked to many alleged victims who say that they have been victimized by the folks at Soul City. So we're just waiting on Queen Isis to call us now, and we will get on with her. If you want to make a comment, by the way, as well, you can. We are monitoring the comments, so if you've got something to say, question, comment, concern, you can give it to us as well while we wait for Queen Isis to connect with us. So, but that is the breaking news, and the bottom line is people are starting to come forward. We just had, within the last hour and a half or so, we had a brave woman come forward by the name of ARRHE, and I don't want to pronounce her name wrong, so it's ARRHE. She says, "Hi, my name is, and I'm a survivor of Soul City. I will not let anybody tell me what didn't happen to me. I'm speaking out because I'm no longer afraid of speaking out for the kids, for my kids. I'm going to advocate for those who are afraid." And again, that was about an hour or so ago. That was, I think, just before the breaking news of the TPD investigation. Now, we, on our own, our team, had reached out to Soul City Gym. I know 13 ABC gave the news yesterday that the gym has been temporarily closed. We reported that information on Tuesday. Someone from our team had reached out to Soul City, and they actually reached somebody there. A man answered the phone, and I'm reading from the notes from our team. And they said they are temporarily closed, and I quote, "due to serious accusations, and a police report has been filed with Toledo Police." So that was happening on. We got that information on Tuesday. Now we don't know if them acknowledging that there was a police report filed on Tuesday. We don't know if that's the same one that TPD or the 13 ABC has confirmed today, about an hour or so ago. We don't know if that's the same one. We do know that Rashawn McDonald, owner of Glazem Gourmet Funnel Cakes, has come forward, and he said that according to him, his daughter was abused by the guys at Soul City, and Rashawn says that his daughter has come forward and filed a police report. Again, we don't know if that's the police report the police are talking about. Queen Isis is on the phone with us. Hey, Queen Isis, hello.
Hello. How are you all?
Good. I want to thank you for your advocacy in this matter, and so much of the information that you've brought forward in the case. Give me your initial reaction on the breaking news that Soul City Gym is being investigated.
So my initial reaction when I seen it, when it was sent to my inbox, the first thing I did was scream, "Let's go!" no, it's time to walk them down. Like, that's how I felt, because I know right now these girls aren't dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing that they just did for us by putting that on the news the way they just guaranteed some of these girls' safety. They're not scared anymore. I want to make that very, 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 very clear. They're not scared anymore. They're angry and they're ready to fight. They're ready to take them down. They're tired of it. They've been holding it. They're scared for others to go through it. And I'm proud of them. Without these victims stepping up and then confiding in me and trusting in me, you know, what I call myself the average Joe, none of this could have happened.
You know, and the thing is, Queen Isis, the courage of the first ones that have actually come forward and actually filed police reports and gone in public, which, you know, Rashawn for his daughter, and then I saw a post a couple minutes ago from a woman that has made herself identified that is an alleged victim. That's now, it's going to open up the floodgates, I would think, right? Like you said, have you spoken to any of the victims that originally reached out to you since this information about the investigation?
Absolutely. Up until this morning, I've been in contact with these victims. And again, they are expressing to me they're not scared anymore. They're ready to fight. They're ready.
Let me ask you this, Queen Isis, because, you know, you and I probably don't hang out in the same circles, I'm guessing. Or that's being unfair, I guess. But let's say the gym, the clientele of the gym and the black community is probably a different circle than I run in. I knew the gym, but there are a lot of people that didn't know the gym. But there have been rumblings and quiet talk in the black community for a long time about allegations over there. Would you say that's a fair statement by me?
Absolutely. I mean, I've spoken with victims who have been affected of this since 1991. There are now, my oldest victim that has reached out was the age 48, and the youngest was 4.
Oh, my God.
Yes, this has been going on for decades. This is something that a lot of people are aware of that's been going on. And the reason that I feel as if it hasn't been brought up is because of that level of fear that I spoke up on. A lot of people were scared about the reputation of, you know, the older gentleman, Otha Jones. They were scared to either end up missing, dying, but by the community responding the way we needed them to,
yes,
again, that helps take that fear away. You know what I'm saying? We need to know that you guys hear us. We need to know that you guys are here to help us. And I also stated that this can help our community come together and grow bigger, because now we're bringing awareness to these things, and we can tell our children and teach our children how to watch their back when it comes to matters like this, in any sport that they're in, whether or not it's boxing, basketball, or wrestling. You know, it's important to know what an inappropriate touch is. It's important to know that an adult is not supposed to get anywhere close near you. Not in your mental, not in your physical, or anything. It's important that this awareness is continued to be spreaded no matter what, even after this is brought to justice. You know what I'm saying? It's important that it continues to spread.
We're talking to Queen Isis about the breaking news investigation of the TPD launching an investigation into the boxing gym, Soul City Gym. Is this a fair statement? And I'm not saying that the circumstances are the same, but let's say there's a Diddy or there's a Harvey Weinstein or things like that. If you talk to people, they've known that those allegations were going on for decades, and the people around them knew what was going on, and it took getting out of that circle to finally for the walls to come down. Would you say that this is kind of similar in that now it's out of the circle, and the walls are going to start coming down, you think?
Absolutely, and that's the plan, to start walking them down. Now that another thing that I believe that is going to really shed a lot of light on this is if a charge is placed, victims are going to flood.
Yeah.
They're going to flood and be ready to speak up and step up. But until we can ensure that, you know, they're going to try to do some type of prosecution behind this, you still have those that are, you know, a little timid about it still, but you have those that are ready. So, again, I encourage everyone to get those reports filed if you are a victim, if you have children who are victims of any type of abuse from Soul City Boxing. Please make those police reports. Another thing I wanted to address, Andrew, when you guys make these police reports are kept confidential. If there's a juvenile involved or or allegations with a juvenile involved in it, there's levels to what the public can see. it's also levels to what those officers down at that safety building can see. So it's not that your reports may not have been made. This is something they're going to look into now. Anybody who's ever went down there, what I encourage is to follow up. If you made a report before, I don't care if it was 6 years ago, follow up to see, hey, my name is such and such. I made a report around this time, and can someone look into it?
Here's what
That way they can gather all of this information.
Here's what I'm hearing, Queen Isis, and you can tell me if you're hearing the same thing or if you're not hearing the same thing. A couple of the things I'm hearing is, number one, people are scared to go to the police. Number one, the black community is inherently distrustful of the police, but they also know that the Jones men have relationship with the police, so they don't trust the police even that much more, or they don't want to go to the city because the city has business dealings with Soul City, and they don't want to go even to the media, the traditional media, because they think that the media is not treating it fairly. So though you have the three places they're supposed to go, they don't trust. It's just why they're going to I think people like you or people like us, independent media and independent voices that can't be influenced by money or anything like that. And finally, that's why it's coming out. But they're still scared to come forward. So address those that say, "Hey, I can't go to the police, or I can't do this, or I can't do that." I said, I would. My thought is that now that it's out in the public, if you let us know and then go to the police, someone like us know and then go to the police, then that's going to be the cover that you need. They can't get you now. They can't. It's over. It's over.
Yes, and I agree. That is some of the speculations that are going around, that there may be some type of affiliation in the system. But one thing I want to clarify is I have done my footwork as far as pinpointing those in our system that we can trust. The last, we're in Thursday, so the last 3 days, have sat in meetings with people who we can trust. So I want you guys to know that I honestly understand the feeling of not being able to trust them because nothing has been done this far, up until now. But at the same time, I'm still encouraging you guys that I am building that trust with the community and with our law enforcement, so that we can, come together and speak with them. I've been talking to a lot of detectives, a lot of, directors and things of that nature. And right now it's just a matter of just staying underneath them. Like, no gaps, like I keep screaming, no gaps whatsoever, just staying on them. And again, I have built a relationship with a couple of different people that are involved with law enforcement, detectives, and police officers, where I feel like I found a ground of trust with them. Like, you've set a path. You set a path forward that you vetted and think is a legitimate path, that they don't have to be worried for their safety. Exactly, is exactly what I'm saying. That you guys are not being ignored anymore. They hear our concerns. They know what it is that's in the air right now. It's not being discredited at all. We just have to allow them to, one, do their investigation, and two, we got to keep coming forward. We got to keep coming forward. We got to keep telling our stories and walking them down.
Well, what should the public be doing now, as far as this is concerned? Number one, and number two, justice can go slowly. What do we do in the meantime with the kids I'm assuming the gym's going to open back up. I don't think the police can keep it closed during an investigation. What happens if the gym opens back up and all these kids that go there now, that while justice is, like you said, like giving them time to do their investigation? Well, what should the public be doing, and are we worried that the gym's going to open back up?
My personal opinion, no, I'm not worried about that gym opening back up. If it does happen, okay, then we'll be ready and prepare. But this is the time. One of the things I pointed out is the number one thing that we were focused on was making sure we found the missing girl, and we've executed that.
Right.
The next thing was shutting the gym down, and we've also executed that. Our third thing is prosecution, and if we can get this ball on the road like we needed to, I believe that gym will stay closed longer than most people think. And if so, it does open. This is when our community has to come together. This is when those protests may come about. I'm sure a lot of people are seeing a petition that's going around. This is when those things come in effect. Again, all gas, no brakes. We have to stay underneath them. We cannot allow them to sweep this for 1 second of the day.
Has it been pleasantly surprising to you, Queen Isis, of the of the black community that has rallied together to shut them. Because again, these are still they were powerful men up until now, up until the investigation. But still, people didn't care when it came to the kids. They were stepping up and they were letting their voice be heard, and it didn't matter. Is that pleasantly surprising to you, or or is that expected?
So it was pleasantly surprising for me,
Yeah.
just because, like I said, I consider myself the average Joe. So for a lot of the victims and families to confide in me and trust in me, and what the work I've been doing, that was surprising alone. But I'm very high in my spirituality, and I stay prayed up. So I've been praying throughout this whole process. God, allow me to speak, the proper words to our community. And it's gotten across. And I ask my husband all the time, like, what's the difference between my voice? One thing I want to say to the communities is when survivors speak, change happens. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
When survivors speak, change happens. And you guys are listening to a survivor. I'm not just out here doing this work because, I feel bad. I definitely feel bad, but I am a survivor of some of the same things that are being alleged. So I needed them to know, like, you guys are not alone, but I didn't know that my voice would carry that far. And it just allowed me to tell myself, like, it's time to put that hat back on. That's why you hear me say CSSJ, to Crime Survivors with Safety and Justice, because I stood with them before. I've marched with them before. We stood in front of the Capitol and down in Columbus, making awareness of these things. I just felt like it's time. This is God telling me this is your assignment, and I'm here.
Well,
I'm here for it. I'm all for it.
Thank you for all the work that you were doing. Please keep us updated. If there's any way we can help, please don't hesitate to ask. Continue to go forward. Follow Queen Isis on the social media, Facebook, Queen Isis. She's been doing some amazing work on there, on letting victims' voices be heard. And I know how many do you think there are? Like how many do you guess there are? But how many do we have concrete numbers of? Like that you have this many emails and whatever. Where are we at as far as numbers? You think?
Oh, so far. I can say about 8 people are ready to march together to go and make their reports and get their truth out and their trauma out of what happened to them. But then you have the other ones that are standing kind of back to see if the other ones are going to make the move. And like I said, once a charge is made, once more victims are stepping up and spreading their word as well, it's going to allow more people to become comfortable. So it's important to me that I continue to create that safe space where you guys are open to come and talk to me, open to confide in me and your trauma that you've been through, and also allowing me to link you guys with the resources, because this isn't over once you tell your truth. Once you speak up and you tell what you guys have been through, it doesn't stop there. And again, I'm a walking testimony of it. In order for me to live a more fulfilled for life, I have to process out. So that's something that we're going to work on later, once we gain justice behind all of this. But I do want you guys to know you have my full support, and we're going to process out of this all together. I hope that this makes our community greater, better, and stronger. And I just advise everybody to keep that close eye on your children.
Who are the allegations against from your victims? Again, they're just allegations, but who are your victims naming in this whole thing? Is it Otha?
So they're naming a lady by the name of Crockett. They're naming a lady by the name last name is Easley Torian, something like that. They're also naming Otha Jones, Roshan Jones. They're naming a guy by the name of Freaky Fred. They're speaking in regards to an uncle that is in relation to Otha Jones and Rashawn Jones, and they're also bringing up the son, Rashawn Jones' son, the junior. Like it's sad because to me, and this is just mine, that young man was a victim at one point too. If he's being groomed into anything that they are. But it's too late now because that still doesn't give you the pass to victimize anyone.
And then if you're so is there any way with all the people that were named, again, it's all allegations, we have nothing proved, with the people that you named in that circle that were in that gym, is there any way that people, even if you weren't involved, how would you not know what was going on?
I feel like it's impossible almost to not know what's going on.
Yeah.
I knew about Soul City Gym just like being one of those. I got warned when I signed my son up and my niece. I was warned, like, hey, you up there, you know you they tight, be careful. And I mean, I took it in because that's something I always pay attention to if somebody is warning me of something, of danger. But it took for my niece to walk out of there, you know, and her to witness it for herself, and then these victims to confirm it. Because all the victims are doing is confirming the conversation that my niece heard the day, June 7th of last year, when I pulled them out that program. Everything that's going on in these victims are confirming matches.
Wow. Queen Isis, again, thank you so much for all your activism and the things that you're doing, and please stay with it. And if there's any way we can help, please don't hesitate to ask, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you. You guys keep your heads up, keep a smile on your face, and it's time to walk them down.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. That is a Queen Isis on the breaking news of TPD launching an investigation into the boxing gym, Soul City Gym. We will keep you updated. The community is behind you. If you are a victim, please feel free. Don't hesitate to come out. Come to a safe space. If it's Queen Isis, if it's here, someone that's independent that you trust, because we're not on the inside, please do that as well, and we will make sure that we keep your information safe. So that is the latest of the breaking news. If we have more, we will bring it to you. Please stay tuned to our Facebook page. We broke some news last night of a video that of Soul City Gym that is disturbing to a lot of people. You can go to the Andrew Z Facebook page to get more information on that. And thank you so much for supporting independent media. You have a great day. That is a special news bulletin report.